Hello, I'm going to teach you how to use Premiere to make time lapses with your photos. Firstly, let's open Premiere. I pressed Command Space to get the Spotlight shortcut up and just typed in Premiere. Now I'm going to make a new project and choose where to put it. I'm going to put it on my desktop, which I navigate here. There you go, I found it. And I've chosen my desktop and I'm going to title it Photos, Videos, and I hit OK. I go into Workspaces, Reset to Save Layout. This just makes sure that your screen looks like my screen. So over here, we need to get our photos into Premiere. So the way we do this is we go to the media browser and we navigate to the desktop, which is there. Now we can see our PNG files, and I just right-clicked that and imported that, and you'll find out that goes into the project bin. So these are now important. This is just one way to do it. So now I've navigated to my bin, and I can see my photos there. So another way you can do this, because there's always more than one way, is to Command and Tab to get to your Finder, navigate to your desktop, and then just select your files and drag and drop them in. I'll be careful when doing this with lots of photos, and particularly high resolution photos, because this could crash your computer. That's why I like to go with the media browser way, the first way I just showed you. So we've got all of our letters on the timeline. You can see these pink regions. I'm just going to put them in order to make hello, and you can see that they snap into place, which is quite handy. I just held Alt there and clicked and dragged to make a new one, and I'm going to play it. There we are. Hello, the longest hello of all time. And I've just realized that I didn't need to duplicate the L, because it doesn't make any difference. Right, so now we're going to show you how to change the length of it. So you just see that snap again. Make sure there's going to be no gaps in your timeline so you don't have a black screen. So I hit Command R, and now I'm going to change the duration of each clip. And I'm going to bring that down to half a second. Or 5 frames, I believe. 10 frames, there you are. You see they're all small. So I'm just clicking the gaps and hitting backspace to make it go a bit quicker and make sure they're all together. And there you are. Hello, nice and quick. So you can do these with all your photos and select them all and just make the process a bit quicker. And I think now, you see that gap in between there? Now I'm going to make lol. There you are. So with a portrait photo, you can see there's the 2 blank spaces on either side. The reason it's done this is because the photo aspect ratio is different to the session aspect ratio. So I'm going to get my hello in order, click the space in between each region and backspace to delete it. Command R to change the length of each region to 1 second, and then I'm going to click the space, delete a space in between each region, and now we have hello. So if you want to get rid of this background, there's a couple of ways you can do it. First way is to get into your effects control of the region. So this is your source monitor. This shows you the region you have selected. So you can see in the left hand it's staying on H, but in the right hand it was changing. But I've gone over into the effects control tab, and you can see that this gives you controls for each region, which is quite handy. So I'm going to go to scale, and if you hover over the scale, it's in your motion dialog. If you go to scale and hover over it, you'll be able to click and drag, but this is effectively zooms in your image. So if you're cool with a zoomed in image, then that's cool. But if not, you can change the rotation of it here too. Cool. So that's using your scale and your rotation parameters, but we want this picture to be portrait, so I'm going to make a new layer to get rid of these black spaces here, and I'm going to use a color matte. There we are, and this is the dimensions, the aspect ratio. It's gone by default to the size of the image which I made in a PDF. We have to put our photos on top, so it's like Photoshop. If you're familiar with that program, you have to put the layer you want on top above the background layer. So I can change that to red if I wanted to, and now we have a red background. There you are. I'll put that back to white. I guess that's everything. I mean, you can change the aspect ratio of your sequence by going to sequence and settings, and you can see the values here, so we can change that to the size of your photo if you wanted to, but it might play back a bit weird on some screens. To change the values, you need to get into the editing mode custom, so we can change the values there. But like I say, if you play that on a phone, then YouTube or whatever might put bars in there for you, or it might just look a bit different to how you intend it to look. Thank you. Hope this helps.